Learning is said to have occurred when there is a permanent or semi-permanent change in behaviour. Behavioural change, and therefore learning, can only occur when the newly learnt behaviour is more highly valued than the previous behaviour. For the newly learnt behaviour to be more highly valued than the previous behaviour, it has to have been positively reinforced during its acquisition. In the workplace, if a worker has learnt new behaviour and is applying that behaviour and are experiencing greater productivity, higher customer satisfaction levels, improved relationships with colleagues, or higher levels of job satisfaction, then the worker is more likely to adopt this behaviour permanently or semi-permanently because of this positive reinforcement of the behaviour. In this example, the organisation or business can be satisfied that their learning programs or initiatives are successful based on long-term behavioural change, which has notable benefits for the organisation or business, such as greater staff productivity. The key, therefore, for any organisation or business is to ensure their learning programs are successful and achieve long-term behavioural change. There are a number of critical ingredients to any learning program, and these include relevance. As we become continually more time poor, we tend to become more critical of our time investments by asking ourselves when we engage in a task or activity, what's in it for me, or how does this investment of time and effort assist or help me? Before any learning can commence, the program facilitators need to develop clear objectives of not only the expected learning outcomes, but also the expected benefits to the participant. This process is best undertaken with the participants or a representative sample of the participants. The following is a very simple example of relevance applied in an elite athlete context. The client group is elite collegiate basketballers. The learning objectives is the correct performance of the squat exercise. The relevance that needs to be communicated to the athletes is the direct correlation between lower body strength and jumping height. The next critical ingredient of a learning program is content knowledge. Participants are more likely to effectively engage in a learning program and adopt behavioural change if they are learning from a program facilitator with a level of expertise in the learning content. It is for this reason that for the learning programs to have credibility, the program leaders must be able to have a level of expertise that will enable engagement, learning, and change. The next critical ingredient in the learning program is inclusion. For a learning program to be inclusive, it needs to ensure that disadvantaged learners or learners with specific needs are catered for. This can include using larger texts for those with a visual impairment, or affording some participants more time to complete activities and assessments. In addition to this, and to be truly inclusive, is the requirement to ensure that learning content is presented in a manner that is going to engage as many learners as possible, as all learners have different learning styles or learning preferences and proficiencies. If learning content is presented in only one form, such as a lecture, then this will cater to those that learn best by auditory stimuli. If the information is presented in the form of videos and screencasts, then this form of learning will cater to those best engaged by visual stimuli. And if the learning content is presented by asking the participants to get hands-on and learn by doing, then this will most likely just engage the kinesthetic or tactile learners. For this reason, it is important to ensure learning content is presented in a variety of mediums to cater for a diverse range of learning styles. If we revisit the elite athlete example, we can look at how teaching across these three learning styles can be undertaken to support learning. Auditory, providing 2 to 3 key teaching points such as keep your eyes looking forward. Visual, provide a skilled demonstration of the movement, which can be a video file. Kinesthetic, have the athlete perform the movement under supervision with appropriate feedback offered. What learning style are you? The following table presents a general overview of each of the learning styles. The preference that a learner has is typically based on the one they relate to most. Auditory, contribute to discussions, are good at explaining things, are good at remembering names, learn from group discussions. Visual, like charts, often make lists, need to take notes in lectures, remember faces but forget names. Kinesthetic, are good at sport, find it hard to sit still, enjoy role-playing, enjoy making and repairing things. The next critical ingredient in a learning program is ethics. Whilst learning programs are designed to create change in workers, it is somewhat known by the participants that the training program and behavioural change will benefit the organisation or business. It is therefore important to be honest as an organisation or business and highlight to the participants not only the relevance for them, but also the relevance to the organisation. The last critical ingredient we will look at in the learning program is supporting ongoing change. In many instances, participants complete a training program and are very excited about change and improvements. However, before long, old habits prevail and the training program becomes a distant memory. For learning programs to be truly effective, the participants need to have their behavioural change supported in an ongoing capacity to engender change of habit. This is commonly achieved by setting performance targets for behavioural change, rewarding achievement of change, and supporting ongoing change through feedback and performance appraisal.